Good afternoon and welcome to Citizen Wire, the platform where we speak truth to power. This broadcast is focused on the real central issue. I'm going to read some of the things you may not be able to see on the screen, but I'll read it to you, and you will see this slide as the main question on the broadcast when I finish. As stated before, I'm unable to do long broadcasts at the minute, trying to cope with the chronic pain. So I just do what I can when I can, and then I go and rest and sort of in between. But thank you for the continued support. Please don't forget to subscribe to Season A, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us continue to grow the platform. We appreciate your support. What we want to do now is to go into this broadcast again. We are going into specifics. You will notice that I've highlighted everything you see here. This board here, this map here is all the 774 local government areas. And what we've done is we've gone into one particular one. I've just, Ali Moshe local government area. That's what you're seeing in the middle there. The Ali Moshe local government area. So, and we've gone into the monthly account, the monthly federal account allocation committee amount that they received for Ali Moshe local government area alone. We've done it from March until December 2022, so that you will have a clear picture of exactly how much money we are talking about. So we're going to go into detail about that now. So the question now is, before you go to the church or mosque, do you know how much money is meant to come to your local government monthly? Do you know that? If you don't know that, then I am suggesting, I put it to you that the first thing that you must do is, as a community, to come together within that community and begin to question what money is supposed to come to you. That is one of the most important tasks you can do. I suggest that collectively within your communities, you need to begin to spend at least a minimum of 10 hours collectively each on this issue, 10 hours a week. Start spending that on dealing with this community issue, because without dealing with it at the community level, you cannot solve the problem at the federal level. It's got to start at the community level. You need to begin to get involved in your governance, begin to hold them to account. You will not be able to hold them to account without knowing the information that I'm providing to you now. Like I said, now this is Ali Moshe local government area. In Ali Moshe local government area, you can see it on the screen. That's it there. That is all of the areas, within that local government area, and this is the amount that they're getting per month. You can see. So March they got 702,169. That is in 742 million 702,169 million naira. So the actual fact is, this is actually in billions. The ones 1 point something are the billions. They're in billions of naira. 1 point something billion. They are all billions of naira anyway. Yeah, 742 billion naira. That is what you see there. Again, 42 billion naira. So you can see that they are all billions. So March 742,702,169.29. April 910,430.45.41. So all of that. 775,583 030.02. May, June 575,913.47.74. These are all billions of naira, and so on and so forth, all the way down to December, where I think it's one of the highest one is August, 1.049897677.48. That's the amount that is supposed to go to the local government area of the Ali Moshe local government area. And that is what you need to know. So if you are there, so that's why it says Lagos. You can see that there. It's showing you what you need to know. You need to have this information. So when you are armed with this information, you can now go to the council and say, look, this is how much you guys are supposed to receive. Have you actually received it? Where is the fund? Because we haven't got roads, water, lights, schools, bridges, and that is why, and everything else. And that is why the committee is so important. The committee for light, committee for roads, committee for water, committee for schools, committee. You need to have committees. And then what should happen is each of the community associations should come together. So there should be a representative from each of the community associations coming together and then going to speak to the local government chairman. which I'll provide his name. The people who you need to know are your local government chairman. You need to know your state House of Assembly members, the state House of Assembly members, sorry, and then the National House of Assembly members. You need to know all of this. This is very, 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 very important for you to know. So we've given some names. We may have missed out one or two other names, but we've given the names, and this applies for every single local government area. You need to do this. So so the question it says here, have you questioned your local government about where the funds have gone? It is your right to question all politicians about where the funds have gone. The church has no sovereignty. Your community has sovereignty. So when you stand as a community together, you have more power than the church because it is enshrined in the Constitution. I will show you that section towards the end of this broadcast that you can use to take collective action. So let's go forward again. So now, sorry, 1 second, I'm in the wrong place here. Here we go. So now, you know, before we told you this, let me go back up again. You see this figure here, 8,899,540.056.18 trillion naira. Okay, so that is what you're looking at right there. Yeah. So now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is you need to really understand what has been done here. You really have to understand exactly what has been done. So that is how much they've got from March to December. 8.something, 889,550.056. You know, so that is what is there. So what I'm trying to do here is to wake us up. You know, don't forget these amounts are in billions. So, but when it goes over that, of course, then it becomes trillions. So, and that is what we are really trying to bring to your attention. So that's how much they you know, that's how much they were paid. Now let's go, you know, into it. We're gonna try and convert that into dollars and see what it looks like. Okay, so now, so 8849, you won't be able to see it on the screen, but I will take it from me. It is 8849,540.056.18 Nigeria to US dollars. You know, and then it comes out as this is, keep in mind, this is on a transfer rate of 452. We know it's 900. So let's say we even double the amount. In effect, we're going to double the amount. So that's, you're looking at 30 or 40 million dollars altogether if you double it. That is, you know, in terms of conversion, and that is what the amount of naira, billions of naira, that's what it equates to in dollars. So you can see for the whole, from March to December last year, that was what was supposed to come to your local government area. It's not small money. The reason why I'm talking, it is serious money, and you have the power to hold those who you elect into office to account to answer those questions. That is why I'm showing you this. So let's carry on. The next one. What you need to do is you need to go to something called the National Bureau of Statistics. I've put the links below, and I'll share it on the broadcast as well. There's a link, nigerianstats.gov, nigerianstats.gov.ng/e-library, right? Or /e-library, sorry. So I'll put that up again for you to see in the broadcast. That is to show you where you can go and be able to access this information. Literally, every community, you have the power to do what I'm doing. You have the power, and I've spoken about it before, and I'll try and do it and speak to you about it again. But you have the power to go and scrutinize the local government allocation for your own local community, so you can come together as a sovereignty and begin to hold those you elect into office to account. Very, very important. So next. So for Alimosho local government area, these are the men that you really want to be aware of. You need to be aware of these people. This is you won't be able to see his face here, but you will see it on the broadcast when I put the pictures up later on. His name is Honorable Yusuf Adebisi. You know, so he's part of the State House of Assembly in Lagos for Alimosho. Then the next one, of course, is Honorable Kehinde Olaide Joseph. Again, he's a State House of Assembly member for Lagos in Lagos State, representing Alimosho. Then you have the Senator Adeola Yayi is the senator on that represents, that should speak for the people of Alimosho, because it comes out in his own constituency, if you like. So that is what we need to know. And of course, the last person that you see in the picture is Governor Jide Sanwo-Olu. All of these people, they are the people that you need to speaking to. And one of the things I want you to bear in mind is that to be prepared to take a trip down to the Lagos State House of Assembly to question and hold them to account based on the figures that you're seeing. Those are the kind of things that I suggest that we do as a people. I'll try and put the picture up, but I hope this is making some sense to you, that it is of immense importance that we, the people, begin to question those we elect into office. It doesn't matter who's in office. If we do not question them, the same things will happen. It doesn't matter if it's Peter Obi, if it's Atiku, if it's Tinubu, which it looks like it's going to be. If we do not take this participation in our governance is the most important part of governance, because that is where we have the opportunity to question those we elect into office. That is where we have the opportunity to judge them, to demand they give us an answer, and we mustn't let it go by. The church has no sovereignty, but our communities, Alimosho local government area, is a sovereignty, and when we stand together as a community, we can exercise that sovereignty to achieve what we want, individually as well as collectively as members of our local government area, by local government area. So I hope this is making sense. And let me just quickly go back to the top and show you what I mean. This is a lot of money. That 8.899540-056.18 is a lot of money that is going missing and nobody's questioning. So if we are not dealing with that and we are praying to God to come and help us, if we are not putting a stop to the money being looted by the politicians by actively participating in our governance, and we're showing you how you can do that, then nobody's going to answer our prayers. Heaven helps those who help themselves. At least that's what one of the religions says. But all I'm saying is that it is time that we woke up and realized that we have a lot of work to do collectively. So let me show you the final one. I think is it here? Sorry, yeah. So the final one is the picture you have there. So I've talked about Honorable Yusuf Adebisi. He's a State House of Assembly member. Alimosho chairman is the chairman for local government. Alimosho local government. Honorable Kehinde Olaide Joseph is also a State House of Assembly member representing Alimosho. And finally, Senator Adeola Yayi. He's the one who's the constituent of Alimosho falls under his constituency, and he needs to be coming up with giving answers as to why is it that this kind of funds that I talked about have gone missing. And of course, the same thing applies to the governor of Lagos State. But unless we all actively participate in this process, just waiting for somebody or praying in the air, that's not going to work. You know, we are trying to show you how to fish, not give you fish. We're trying to show you how to make sure that the funds that belongs to your community comes to your community by participating. And one more tip I want to really reiterate: the National Assembly will do what you say to them. Once you pass that bill, the state has to pass it to them and say, look, the people of the area, they want the funds to go directly to the local government so that they can be able to use it to build roads and things. So, that case, you can put that forward in a very strong and clear terms based on the evidence that we put before you. And that way, our people can begin to actually hold our governors to account. When you have this kind of information, instead of just saying, no, we want Yoruba Nation. I'm not saying we're not going to get Yoruba Nation, but at this point, we can't. What we need to do is to enlighten our people to their rights right now that they can use to now hold the governors to account. Once they start doing that, we will not have to be sending money for infrastructure or this or that, because the funds is more than enough. That's what I'm just showing you. I hope this resonates to you. We will talk later on. Thank you for watching. Before I go, please don't forget, subscribe to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm doing this broadcast. I come out as often as much as I can, paying allowance and all that. But notwithstanding, like I said, this is a lifelong ambition, and we're going to go work towards it to achieve it together. You need to see yourselves. Every community is sovereignty. When you stand alone and you think you got your house and everything else, when something goes wrong, nobody will be there to help you. But as a community working together, you look out for each other and you minimize the risk to your lives as people. Those are the kind of things that we must begin to do within our community. So like I said, let me just read to you one or two of the sections before I go. I'm going to move this here so that you can see it yourself. So the politicians serve you, hold them to account. They serve you. You have to hold them to account. How do you hold them to account? By exercising your sovereignty. And sovereignty is under section 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom this government, through the constitution, derives all its powers. Yes, so that's the kind of thing that we need to really begin to say off head and paraphrase in as much as possible, so that we know that what should happen is the government is failing us and they're not providing what they should do. How do you do that? You now go into specifics. You participate in your governance again by questioning them. The sovereignty gives the power to hold anybody to account on accounts of whatever they've done. And that is very, very important part of the whole process. The second one, of course, is this: participate in your governance. Section 14.2c. Participation by the people in their government shall be mandated in accordance to the with the constitution. So you can see exactly where we're going. These are things that we need to be doing on a daily basis. Let me ask you a question: how many of you spend any hours, 2 hours, on local government issues? How many people spend 2 hours a day? How many? If you don't spend now's the time to start looking at that, because when you work together in the community and demand and making sure, and you do not relent till you get the roads, the water, the light, the schools, the bridges fixed, that community is cohesive because you're all looking out for each other. And that is what has been missing in our communities. So as much as we are with all the religion we've been pumped into our head as Christians and as Islam, we are as divided as ever. We don't look out for each other. We don't look out for our collective benefit. We are looking at greed, because that is what is being propagated by the religions that we are still adopting now and carrying out on African soil. And so I wanted to state that. So what I will say is thank you so very much for watching. You're watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. I will try and come back live as and when I can, but like I said, it's all pain and allowing. But please, if this broadcast resonates with you, please do share. Again, I'll endeavor to do it in Yoruba, of course, but we'll see how things go. But for now, this is important for us to be able to share. So please, I do urge you, subscribe to Citizen Network, hit notification button, give us some top, and of course, finally, share it as far and wide as possible. Leave a comment as well, and also help us grow the platform. So what's left for me to say is to say thank you very much. You've been watching Citizen Network, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll be back later on. Thank you, and bye for now.